who has the overall lead thanks to her victory in test number 1. She did that in the second heat. Emily Rolfe finished second, and it's Hannah Black in third. Spots 11 through 20 separated by just 20 points. As we get set for the ring complexes, the single leg squats, and the burpee box jump overs.
Yep, you'll have 5 ring complexes, toe to ring, muscle up, ring dip, alternating 5 reps on each leg for a total of 20 single leg squats, and then max burpees over the box in the remaining time. We'll go through 3 intervals with 1 minute in between.
Stacy, what's the recipe for success?
The first recipe is just being strategic on the ring complex. You need to be breaking it up for sure. There's no need for you to go unbroken.
When you go through that middle round, make sure you save a little bit of gas for the end.
Here are the 10 women who will be on the competition floor. Katrin Davidsdottir will be in lane number 1, her first individual in-person competition in a year.
This is definitely a redemption workout for Katrin. Last year, you know, she mis-strategized the muscle up workout at the MAC. So we'll see how much the hard work is paying off this offseason.
I see what you did there.
I see.
We are underway. 50 reps from Marissa Flowers is still the score to beat. Well, down to lane 4, Sydney Mikulishin, coming off a season where she took 31st place at the CrossFit Games.
And we actually bumped into her at a local affiliate in the days leading up to it. I asked her what workout or what test she's looking forward to, and this was one of the ones she said she had circled because she is so strong at upper body pulling.
And she is almost through her 5 ring complexes.
Yeah, as we get into this last heat, or the second to last heat here, expect that will go up, reps will go up, people start to go a little bit further along that complex instead of strategically breaking like the earlier heats, because the upper body capacity has just improved.
Mikulishin and Rail were among the first 2. Down in lanes 8 and 9, Madison McElhaney, Elia Miller, and then Hattie Canio were also onto the one-legged squats, and it's Canio right now who's in front.
Again, you look at those pistols, she's just repping them out, not losing control, standing tall at the top. Looks really steady and smooth on those pistols.
And Canio is done, and she will start her first set of burpee box jump overs. Katrin Davidsdottir is almost done with her one-legged squat. She's got 5 reps remaining.
And when our research team reached out to a bunch of these athletes beforehand, one of the things that Hattie said she wanted to see was a bunch of gymnastics and some burpee box jump overs. Well, here you go in this first day. You got a groove pitch for sure.
She's at a CrossFit Greater Heights in Houston, Texas, and she is through her first 10 reps. We have every athlete but I believe 1. Freya Moosbrugger is still working on her one-legged squats, but other than Freya, everyone on the burpee box jump overs here.
And we're seeing a lot more jumping over.
Yeah.
Tommy, there's no more pivoting, which is the way to go.
I mean, look at the pop from Hattie. I mean, she's landing very high, so it's not like she's catching and lowering herself down or popping off. She's just 1-2 with the feet and right over. If you got the hip drive, you got the hip pop.
Go for it, right?
Yeah, go for it.
Approaching 10 seconds left in this round, and Canio is already through her first 2 sets of 10. Now 20 and counting for her. And she will be your leader after 1 round. 22 reps in round 1 for Canio. Let's bring in Nikki Brazier down on the competition floor.
So Jason, I have to ask you, as if this complex wasn't difficult enough, you add add that ruck to the back, what do the athletes need to do to make that complex a non-issue in this event?
Well, I mean, it's going to be an issue because adding the pack, it's going to make it a lot more challenging. But in this particular case, when you generally do a muscle up, if you lean back a lot, that's your normal technique, it's going to be really difficult because that weight's going to keep pulling you backward. So staying a little bit more in an upright position, pulling a little bit harder, quicker is going to help you in that. So you see those guys, the big kips, it's really difficult to do that with the pack on.
So is it a muscle up test? Is it a one-legged squat test? Is it a burpee test?
I don't think it's a single leg squat test. I don't even think it's a burpee test. I think it's all about this complex and getting to those burpees and reducing the fatigue, right? Because you got to hit those and still be able to come back here and do that.
2008 Fittest Man on Earth, Jason Khalipa here as well, obviously. Thank him for taking some time to help us out. Round 2 is underway. And it's Hattie Canio who is your leader with 22 reps. We have a couple athletes who got 15, but no one was any closer than that. Sydney Mikulishin is done along with Bailey Rail, and down in lane 9, Elia Miller is finished as well. Canio's still working. You can see her in the back on the all black, right-hand part of the screen. On the box on your right side, she is through her first 5 ring complexes, and this is where she was able to catch Mikulishin and Rail. It was on these one-legged squats.
Hadi did tell me earlier today that number 2 was her favorite workout, so here we are. Test number 2.
Canio is already creeping up on Mikulishin and Rail, as is Zoe Warren in lane 3. And there is Zoe Warren, who is looking to be the first woman through these one-legged squats, and she is done.
Great pace right there.
And she only got 10 burpee box jump overs in round 1. Elia Miller, right side, upper right-hand portion of your screen, she is now onto the burpee box jump overs, and here comes Hattie Canio. Rail and Mikulishin racking up some reps as well on the box. Catherine Davisdottir and Trista Smith look to be the next 2 done with the one-legged squats. Canio on the right side of your screen, lane number 7. She was your leader coming into this round. Now Bailey Rail starting to catch up. Mikulishin as well, moving into the 3rd set of 10, as is Zoe Warren. So Warren with a great pace here in round number 2.
Warren picked up about 2 reps on Sydney and Bailey in that transition to the box first, but more importantly, both Bailey and Sydney picking up reps on Hattie. And if Hattie was struggling on the muscle-ups in that second round, it's only going to get worse here with a little bit more shoulder and pressing fatigue.
Canio still in the lead as she advances her box to the 30 to 40 range. Catherine Davisdottir, bottom of your screen, is trying to get to the 30 rep mark.
You see the difference between Hattie in the first round and the second there. Now she's catching lower, doesn't quite have the same pop. Fatigue starting to pour in a little bit.
33 reps for Canio is still the top scorer, but Bailey Rail was able to cut into that. Rail has 29, and down in lane 9, Elia Miller is through 28. Lane 4, Sydney Mikulishin through 27. There is Bailey Rail, finished 28th at the CrossFit Games last year, looking for her 3rd individual performance. She's also gone twice as a member of the team in 2017 and 2018.
Bailey and Sydney both part of that sophomore class last year that maybe had a little bit of a regression at the games and hoping to turn it back around here in a 3rd trip.
The top score is still 50 reps from Marissa Flowers. And the second best score belongs to Bethany Shadburn at 46. The final round here.
These girls are looking great on the rings for already having done 2 rounds prior.
Elia Miller might have an opportunity to seize this heat here. She had 14 in the first round, matched it with another 14 in the second. Very little drop off and looking really strong on the rings.
Fun fact about Ellie, she actually has her level 1 and her level 2. She wants to get her level 3. She used to weigh, guys, 200 pounds and has lost 40 pounds and has had quite the transformation journey along the way. So I'm proud of her.
She actually turned down a National Guard position and an application to the FBI to pursue CrossFit. Rail and Miller are onto the one-legged squats. They're the only 2 athletes out there. Hattie Canio is just trying to gut through this last ring complex. She's got to get the dip, and she can't hit it now. And the dip is from top to top. That's important.
That's a good point, Sean. So that means that pulling through and getting finished with the muscle up only is the start of the next rep. She still has to do another full dip on top of that. It's one of the little nuances of this complex.
Well, Bailey Rail is out front along with Elia Miller, and then in lane 3, Zoe Warren, as we saw in round number 2, starting to creep up. Rail is through. She has 29 reps. She was 4 behind Canio coming in. Elia Miller to the box. And here comes Zoe Warren. 1 minute to go, and Bailey Rail looking to take the lead here as Canio is still back on the rings.
You want a red line on the rings, but you gotta always save 1 in the tank.
Bailey Rail has now taken the lead from Canio, and Elia Miller is looking to do the same as well.
Rail was 1 rep ahead of Miller coming into this round, and she got 2 reps in before Miller was able to get that transition of pulling the box into that next section.
And keep an eye on the left side of your screen. That's Zoe Warren. She's got a great pace going here too. Rail advances her box. She is in the lead. She's through 40 reps. Warren is through 40 reps as well. Final seconds here. Now keep in mind, the tie break is what you did in round 1, and I believe Rail will have that if they tied.
And Bailey, at the last second, her judge says no rep.
I think Zoe Warren's going to edge her out by a rep. We'll see. We're waiting for the placards to be updated.
Sean, if that's the case, that is a costly no rep. That literally her feet were touching the ground just as the clock was 0.
Warren, her placard still reads 29. They haven't added the score, at least from our vantage point. Mikulishin was through 34 in lane 4, and Bailey Rail looks like she amassed 42 reps, but this is how close the finish was. Time may have just run out on Bailey.